On February 12, 2003, an anonymous post claimed a vast city had been found beneath Iraq. 5 weeks later, coalition forces launched the invasion. No archaeologist has ever confirmed the discovery. No government document supports it. No excavation record exists. But the rumor refused to die, because Iraq's real buried history is extraordinary enough to make it almost believable. And that's where this story actually begins. 12 days before the first bombs fell on Baghdad, a new thread appeared on a little-known archaeology forum. The author, hiding behind a username and no credentials, claimed a British-American team had stumbled onto a sealed underground complex near Lhasa. The post offered no photos, no coordinates, not even a name for the supposed dig leader, just a breathless story and a promise that more details would follow. Within hours, the thread was reposted to a handful of fringe blogs. One early example, dated March 7th, copied the claim word for word, adding only a blurry screenshot as evidence. The screenshot's metadata, when checked years later, showed it was created weeks after the alleged discovery. No academic journal, excavation permit, or field report from 2003 mentions anything like a subterranean metropolis. The only archaeology news out of Iraq that winter was about museum looting and emergency salvage efforts. Nothing underground, nothing city-sized. No peer-reviewed article, no government statement, no satellite data ever backed the story. Yet the rumor took on a life of its own, echoing through forums and blogs, untethered from any documented fact. The claim's persistence had less to do with evidence and more with the magnetic pull of Iraq's real, layered past, a place where ancient secrets might seem just plausible enough to believe. Coalition warplanes struck Baghdad just after sunrise on March 20, 2003, launching the invasion with a barrage of precision-guided bombs and cruise missiles. Over the next week, ground forces swept across southern Iraq, bypassing ancient sites and modern towns alike. On March 26 and 27, US Army armored columns executed the first and second Thunder runs, high-speed drives that cut through Baghdad's southern defenses and pushed into the city's heart. By April 9, the last organized resistance collapsed, and coalition tanks rolled past the toppled statue of Saddam Hussein. Throughout these days, the rumor of a newly discovered underground city kept circulating online, but it never appeared in official briefings, military communiques, and mainstream news. Pentagon statements focused on airstrike counts, troop advances, and the search for weapons of mass destruction. Not a single press release, declassified cable, or field report from this period mentions an archaeological find of any kind, let alone a city-sized complex beneath the ground. The war's timeline and the viral spread of the rumor ran side by side, yet never touched. While the world watched the real destruction of museums and the looting of priceless artifacts, the idea of a hidden metropolis remained confined to forums and fringe blogs. The only documented discoveries from those weeks were the tragic losses to Iraq's cultural heritage, not the unearthing of ancient secrets. Beneath the surface of Iraq lie layers of cities, but not in the way the 2003 rumor described. Archaeological teams have mapped the real underground features of Mesopotamia for decades, using methods like ground-penetrating radar, stratigraphic analysis, and satellite imaging. Dr. Saadi al-Rashid of the Iraqi Antiquities Authority, Professor Stephanie Meyer from the University of Chicago, and Dr. Michael Oates of the ASCSA have all addressed these findings in their published work and public statements. Their research points to a landscape shaped by centuries of building, burial, and rebuilding, not the existence of a vast, untouched metropolis hidden from history. The Tell at-Ur, for example, rises above the plain as a mound of compacted earth and brick, built from the remains of temples, houses, and tombs layered over millennia. Excavations at Ur have revealed royal burial chambers 8 meters below the current surface, filled with gold, lapis, and cuneiform tablets. Babylon's underground is threaded with ancient drainage tunnels and vaulted canals, some mapped by GPR to depths of 10 meters. These features are impressive, but they are documented, measured, and consistent with known urban planning from the Bronze Age onward. High-resolution satellite imagery from the Landsat program, including the April 2003 dataset, shows no sign of a city-sized void in the southern floodplain. Later GPR surveys, such as the 2021 University of Chicago campaign, confirmed only the expected subsurface structures, tombs, drains, and buried foundations. No unexplained anomaly, no sprawling grid of streets or chambers, has ever appeared in the data. As Dr. Meyer noted at the 2021 GPR Symposium, we found what the stratigraphy told us to expect. Nothing more, nothing less. This is the reality beneath Iraq's soil. A palimpsest of civilizations, each leaving its mark, all visible to those who know how to look. The claim of a lost underground city remains unsupported by any field report, peer-reviewed article, or official registry. Instead, the real story is the richness of Iraq's documented past and the ongoing challenge of protecting it. On April 12, 2003, as Baghdad fell silent, the Iraq National Museum's doors were forced open. In a matter of hours, centuries of history vanished. More than 15,000 artifacts, Sumerian statues, Akkadian tablets, cylinder seals, and priceless jewelry were stolen or smashed. The monetary loss was estimated at $300 million United States dollars, but the true cost was incalculable. UNESCO called the looting one of the greatest cultural catastrophes of the modern era. Their emergency reports described shattered display cases, emptied vaults, and rare objects scattered across the floors. By October, the United Nations Security Council passed Resolution 1489, demanding international action to recover Iraq's stolen heritage. But the damage could not be undone. Salvage teams worked against the clock. The Jazeera Salvage Project, a joint Iraqi and UN effort, managed to recover around 2,500 objects from black market raids and border seizures, a fraction of what was lost. The museum's staff, many unpaid and working under threat, risked their lives to save what they could. Zainab al-Shahid, a senior conservator, later described the scene. "We found the vault doors broken, statues decapitated, and the floors covered in fragments of our past. It felt like erasing memory itself." The looting left more than empty shelves. It created a void, a sense that Iraq's ancient story, once tangible in clay and stone, was slipping beyond reach. In that vacuum, rumors and myths found fertile ground. The real tragedy was not a hidden city lost to secrecy, but an open wound in the world's shared heritage, laid bare for all to see. A supposed video, often cited as the first proof of the underground city, carries a creation date of March 23, 2003, but a closer look at its metadata tells a different story. The file's encoding software wasn't released until 2006, and no original upload can be found in any web archive from the invasion period. The earliest forum posts that claim to have broken the news, like the infamous Gaia Online thread from April 2003, are missing from the platform's actual archives. Instead, they surface years later, copied into newer threads with user IDs that didn't exist at the time. Search analytics show no spike for terms like Underground City Iraq until late 2004, well after the initial invasion and looting. Lena Katz, who tracked the rumors spread in a 2025 retrospective, points out that every early digital node, every video, every forum repost turns out to be a later fabrication or a reworking of the same unverifiable claim. No peer-reviewed article, excavation permit, or government memo supports the story. The viral trigger wasn't a real discovery, but a digital echo, amplified by the internet's appetite for mystery. Freedom of information. ACT requests filed with US agencies for any mention of an underground city in Iraq came back with a single phrase: no responsive records. No internal memo, briefing, or cable connects the 2003 invasion to a secret archaeological find. In 2022, a comparative media study traced how stories about advanced, hidden technology in ancient ruins have circulated for decades, mutating with each new war or discovery. The pattern is familiar. A rumor appears, evidence is absent, but the narrative lingers. By 2024, podcasts and YouTube channels were still recycling the same claims, often quoting each other rather than any primary source. Each retelling strips away more context until the myth stands alone, unanchored by data, but reinforced by repetition. No excavation permit, peer-reviewed article, or satellite scan has ever confirmed the existence of a buried metropolis. Yet the story persists because it fits a template: lost worlds, government secrets, and the promise of revelation just out of reach. In the absence of evidence, the myth becomes its own artifact, immune to fact-checking and official denials alike. No verified excavation, academic report, or declassified file confirms a hidden city or secret motive for war. Yet Iraq's real archaeological treasures, World Heritage Sites, suffer documented loss. The myth persists, but the true story is cultural erasure unfolding in plain sight. Sometimes, facts are more fragile than legends.